All right. Hey, guys, welcome back to howtobuycrypto.com. My name is Marco, and today we're going to be talking about some beginner concepts on crypto and what you can do, how you can get in, what is some of the easiest ways, and some great tips that I heard from Tizen and Leon Fu when I did an interview with them last week. And let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, or you can come over to the group, the YouTube group, the Facebook group, and join us here. We're happy to have you. And why don't I go ahead and give some shout outs to those that have already done that. Let's see, Bundy, J-H-O-N, John, I assume that's the way you say it, Frank, I don't want to say this wrong, J-A-E-D-O-N-G. I'm going to call you Jay. And then another John, conventionally spelled J-O-H-N. I want to say thank you for the comments, the subscriptions, the questions that you have, and the communication, guys. It's number one here. We want to communicate with each other. We want to hear from each other and be able to help one another to grow in the crypto space. And today we're going to talk about, again, if you look over at the YouTube channel, you can see that I've had this interview with Tizen and Leon Fu. I wasn't able to upload the whole interview because we had some trouble. We're in a hotel lobby in a dining area, and so a live band kicked up, and then you couldn't hear us. And as it was loud enough to be a problem for our microphone. So anyhow, regardless. They had some great advice. And before we get into that, I just wanted to mention, let's see, go ahead and refresh this page, cryptocurrency market cap, coinmarketcap.com. And we're at the $135 billion market. Today was a little bit of a pullback. You see here about 2%, 2 to 3% on average across the market. And you got more than that on, the given cryptos. But overall, I just want you guys to take a look at this. Here's the 1 year market, the whole market, total market capitalization. And if you were just to connect the lows just from January, low here, and you take the average, this, even if the low was where we're at in the market today, that was 107 billion. You can see that here. This is an insanely good growth in the market. If you think about it, we were at 18 billion at the beginning of the year over here in January. There's 16. That was December and January. There you go. 18 billion. Let's see the bottom. There you go. 15 billion in part of January as well, up to the 107 billion that were, was the low, the most recent low. That's over a 5x return. So if you had bought into Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Ethereum and just held it, you're looking at a 5x return of your investment. And, that's incredible for any market. And I'm really happy to be in this space. I'm really happy that, you guys let me have a voice into your trading or your information gathering for this space. And I appreciate all the people that contribute to make this work. I can't do this by myself. It's one of the reasons I started a channel. I know quite a bit about the space, and so I can share what I know, but I can't research. There's so many ICOs that come out. There's so many new coins that are coming out. And as one of the things that we talked about in the interview with Tizen and Leon Fu is that basically they, there's so much out there, they can't keep up with it. But because they have a channel, they have one of the oldest and most subscribers for an investing channel in crypto on YouTube. And basically, they get a lot of their information from other people. Just like I share information with you, you guys share information with me. And, it's an awesome win-win for everybody. And basically, we all benefit. If I give you a good tip and you are able to make some money on it, it's awesome, because then you go in turn, you do your research, you find a good tip, you share it with the group, we make money on it, we all win. And so anyhow, one of the things that I wanted to mention was when we were talking, I really liked the idea that Tizen had talked about is taking your, it's not a new concept, and this is something that I've mentioned before, is not leaving your money or your crypto on exchanges. Now, when I say exchanges, here, let me go ahead and share my screen again and show you over here. It's Poloniex. It's one of the exchanges that I use. And basically, you can have a wallet on here and store, here's the list of cryptos that they trade, and you can store all of them here on their channel, on their wallet. Now, you don't have to do that. And I make a habit to have some offline, not leave everything online. But here's the deal. Poloniex, you can't put in US dollars, so we use things like Coinbase, where you can download the app and put it on your phone and buy and sell Bitcoin directly from your phone in the middle of the night. You set an alert and you see it's at the right time you want to buy in, you can buy in, or you sell point, you set an alarm and you want to sell it, boom, you can do it. And here you go, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, and easily buy and sell, no problem. And this is the desktop version, obviously. And then actually, I can show you my my phone option real quick. Let me log into my phone and switch the screen for you. And here you can see the graph there for the Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm on Bitcoin there. So basically, it's an easy way to do. Now, what people often do, and one of the things that I recommend people doing, is you can only buy 3 cryptos here. And for the people that want to trade or invest in other cryptos, you take the Bitcoin from Coinbase, and then you transfer it over to an exchange like Poloniex. And here's the deal. Poloniex is awesome. I use it all the time. Bittrex I use all the time, and Coinbase I use all the time. Between those 3 it's the most often that I use. Now, the deal is Coinbase has had, just like Poloniex, just like Bittrex, have all had security breaches, just like your local banks do with your identity that is stolen, just like what is the most recent Equifax, had a security breach with hundreds of millions of users, right? And the deal is, so long as there's information online, there's the possibility for security breaches, right? That doesn't mean that your information is used against you or that you lose money, but it does mean that you were exposed, that information was potentially exposed to someone that could do things illegally with it by stealing it or just taking it off of like out of your bank or out of the exchange. And the deal is, Tizen's obviously been in the space a while, and anyone that you've heard in the space says, hey, don't leave all your stuff on the exchanges. And it's smart because, like I said, the longer you leave things online, the more risk you have of that being exposed to the wrong people to do to take it from you. Now, the other thing is, we've been lucky that the exchanges are allowing the splits of the coins. Now, the deal is, if you had your coins offline, they would have credited you your like Bitcoin Cash split, right? And they credited you the Bitcoin Cash, which is great. It's I don't like Bitcoin Cash, and there for a number of reasons. But anyhow, I took that cash, sold it. Bitcoin Cash sold it immediately for Bitcoin, and got more Bitcoin for free. And the deal is, the fastest way you would have been able to do that is by having your coins offline, not on wallets, but on a hardware wallet like the Trezor or the Ledger Nano S, which I use both as well. And the other thing is, you can get something like a desktop wallet for your personal computer, your laptop, is the Exodus wallet. Let me go ahead and swap screens. And this is something that I've mentioned before to you all, is the Exodus wallet. Now, Exodus wallet doesn't hold all crypto, but it has a good offering: Augur, Bitcoin, Dash, Decred, EOS, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Salt. So this is what I recommend new people getting into, is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Now, they offer many more than that. And one of the benefits to Exodus, and guys, these guys don't pay me to say this or anything. I don't get any cut from Exodus. I'm just telling you something that's nice that I've used before that works, is they have an exchange built in. So you can swap back and forth between these currencies that they have, and pay the fee, but just like you would on an exchange. But you don't have to go to an exchange to do that. You don't have to transfer it over. You can do it within the app, which is excellent. And so having your own, your private keys in this wallet makes a big difference. And here's just another screenshot of here. You see the wallet, the Bitcoin value, and you see here the address. And anyhow, having your private keys is a big deal. And your private keys are what you want to protect. And when you go to things like exchanges, then they're hanging onto your private keys. And that means that potentially they can be stolen. Now, Not everybody wants to spend the $150 to $200 on the the Ledger Nano or the Trezor. Depending on the time, you could get them closer to $100 depending on when you buy them and the demand. And I know they've been hard to come by, so you can do something like this, like the Exodus wallet. And one of the things that Tizen mentioned is when you're getting in, you want to be able to protect everything that you have. Now, if you're buying in at $5 a piece of these, everything that on the market, and so let's say there's 50 of them, so you spent $250 on an exchange. $250 generally is not going to change your life, and so it's not as much a necessity to pay for something like like a Ledger or a Trezor, and you don't have to worry about it. But one of the principles that he was saying is if you're new and you're not sure how to set up all these things, is only buy the cryptos that you are able to store offline securely. So if you have something like the Ledger Nano S and they offer, like they do Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, they do Ethereum Classic, they do the Ripple, they do Dash, they do couple of others that I'm blanking on at the moment, but regardless, what you could do is only buy those, because you can secure those offline, and you don't have to worry then about anybody nefarious or any thing happening because you have an offline option. Now, there are a lot of people that want to buy more than that, but if you do, then the majority of your portfolio is no longer online. So if you were to buy other cryptos that aren't secured by these specific wallets, then maybe possibly the Exodus has something that the Ledger Nano doesn't have that you could potentially store offline. Or, let's say you wanted to buy something. I buy Z Classic. I had bought into them before they did the split to Zen, and I profited quite a bit from that. And so let's say you wanted to buy Z Classic, and guess what? I don't have a wallet that holds that as far as a hardware wallet, and Exodus doesn't carry that. But one thing, so I could possibly buy Z Classic, and then maybe that's the only crypto that I have online, because I hear people asking me this all the time. How do I secure X, fill in the blank crypto? Because, I can't find a wallet for it. Well, Z Classic does have a desktop wallet that I have used before. And, what I got in anticipation of the split of the Z Classic to Zen, and I used it, worked great. The problem is, with some of these wallets, they take a long time to build their the blockchain on them to be able to make the transactions. And so if you don't have the time to fuss with it, then maybe you shouldn't be worrying about some of these other cryptos, and stick to the ones that you do know. And one of the benefits of sticking to the some of the top tier cryptos that are offered is that you get a feel for the market swings, the ebbs and flows of the market. So this is a little overbought, or this is at the peak of the market. Maybe I can take some profit, and that's a big key to trading cryptos, is pulling profit. So one of the things, let me go ahead and show you here. One of the things that I noticed, with Bitcoin when we were up at the peak, let's go ahead and click here at 4,900, right around $5,000, is that at 4,900, I was like, hey man, I'd love to take some profit here. But the problem was I was evacuated at the time. So I wasn't able to pull profit because, I wasn't home. I wasn't in a secure internet connection that I felt, hey, it'd be cool to, I'm okay with, doing some transactions here. Now I do pay for a VPN. If you look down here at the bottom of the screen, you see this little green guy, private internet access, which makes things more secure that I do. But basically at 4,900, I knew it was the peak of the market. I knew I'd love to take some profit, but I just wasn't in the space that if I were to sell some, my whole reasoning for selling is to buy back in and to get more of what I already have, and that's Bitcoin. I like to stack Bitcoin. So the deal is, if it peaked and then troughed, here you go. Well, this isn't the low we're looking at. Let me zoom in a little bit, and let's see what's the low here. I know it went down to. Well, this is really high. I don't know why it's not showing price USD. Okay, so we know that it went down to $3,000. I don't know why I can't see it here. I can do it here, but so here's Bitcoin. That was Bitcoin Cash. So let's look 1 month. Here we go. The bottom here, and we're seeing, there you go, 3,200, and even lower than that, 3,200, and let's go 2 weeks. Here we go. Here you can see the bottom very clearly, 29.33. Okay, so let's say overnight it drops to 29.33. Awesome. You know, then I can buy back in. Well, what if this happens in the middle of the night and then it shoots back up to over 5K? You know, it was, you know, oversold, and then so people buy back in, and it does like a yo-yo and jumps back up to, again, the high, you know, and it's over 5K. And then what do I do then? You know, because then now I'm having to pay to get back in, even more than what the profit that I would have profited from. So one of the things is, you know, if you want to make trades, if you want to do moves like a day trader would, you generally don't want to leave open orders, right? You want to trade only in the daytime and only oh my goodness. Okay. I got to run out to work here in just a moment. But basically, so the concept is you want to be comfortable making trades. You want to be smart about how you do things. And if, you know, I wasn't able to make those trades at the time, I had to wait. And so because of that, I missed out on some profit, but overall, you know, I was able to, as the market was pulling back, and I finally made it back home, finally, you know, was back where I felt comfortable trading. I was able to pull profit. I was able to buy it cheaper. And now, you know, I've told people I made at least about a 20%, got a 20% discount on cryptos, you know, because I was able to make a decent timing, like some of you all also did. And because of that, you know, I benefit from it. But you have to be careful as you're getting into this, because I knew the ebb and flow of Bitcoin. I was able to make that call. And if you only trade the top cryptos, then you get the feel for them of when they get oversold, or, you know, they're being undersold, or you're going to see, you know, hey, there are spikes coming, and, you get that good feeling for it, and you can make some good profits that way. So consider, you know, being smart with the way you store your cryptos, and make sure and, you know, be safe with them. Use things like the Trezor, the Ledger Nano, and the Exodus wallet are all great options for storing your cryptos. Use Coinbase to get in, to buy on your phone. And guys, if you have any questions, you can email me at marco@howtobuycrypto.com, or you can hit me up on YouTube or Facebook. And I got to wrap it up, guys. Talk to you soon. God bless you. Bye-bye.